up, folks? All right, I am just going to be doing some unboxings and some reviews because let's be honest, my attempt at trying to do offline videos, it's a mild travesty of epic proportions. It is a sad, sad thing. So today, I am opening this mole rat. So I'm gonna do solo on the big one, but in case you need to see my face, I will phase back and forth at some point. But mole rat, it is number 94. Again, fantastic art. Love the back. Nice view of a couple important spots. Got our gear, our accessory loadout. We got our figures. Okay, look. It's plastic tabbies. Plastic tabbies. I did all that and then I forgot to get my snips. Or I do have my snips. I just don't know where I put them. Okay, don't forget it. Surrender. 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 I just slide the razor over everything. We just go from there. What's up, Duffin? How you doing? Oh, this is being annoying. All right, come on. Should have grabbed my snips. This is what happens. Just figure I'd do it all with a razor blade, save time. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. This one looks better than what I was expecting. Kind of get my camera to focus there. Kind of dig it. Definitely strange. Definitely nice. Oh, hello. Okay. That's a tight joint. I'm sure probably getting echo because I can hear an echo, but I'm not sure. I might do this real quick. See if that helps. Yeah, a little better. What's up, Rolando? So, yeah, standard drop downs. Well, good. Good. Man, hospitals are always unfun. So, standard T-pose. So it's not bad. It's a standard articulation you expect from Joe. Biceps swivel. It's a little bit different looking because that bicep is a little bit more like solid sleeved. So double elbows are not bad. Get to the face. See if I can't do a crazy jumping, dancing, What's up, Gap? So, yeah, just something different. Cool looking. All right, now to get out the goodies. The good stuff. Hopefully I don't go from happy to sad here in a minute. I honestly had low expectations of this. Because, sometimes you just do. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, guys. There we go. Come on. Little drill. That's kind of cool. All right. Let's see. Geiger counter. I would swear this thing was supposed to be a purplish, but I am seeing orange. Is that what you guys are seeing? Maybe it's purple. I don't know. Maybe it could be the light. I do dig the secondary head sculpt. See if I get it to focus. Camera's being special tonight. Beep. There we go. No, there we go. In and out. Okay, whatever, camera. You might have that moment. So we got the secondary head because, I don't really need the zombie head. Okay, that's weird. All right. Gotta figure out how this thing goes together. Okay. All right. And got mask, backpack. So that. Okay. Where does that peg in? Let's play. Where does that peg in for 200, Alex? Yeah. There we go. Okay, now that makes no sense. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe. 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 Do we have a winner? We have a winner. What's up, Ed? I sent you a thing if you wanted to join on Insta. That is pretty cool. Don't get the weapon, but then that's a whatever. So I guess this comes apart here in the center. That goes back together like that, so you can make it into a drill. So, and where does this go? Okay. Back to photo. Where are we at? Okay. All right. Yeah, that's not any help. Okie dokie, artichoke. That makes no sense, but all right, whatever. I have no idea where this goes, but you know what? We stick it at the front. I don't know. Huh, there we go. Well, maybe. Does not want to go in there. Come on. Go in the hole. Go in. There we go. All right, there it is. Kind of like the modular weapon. That's kind of cool. That's a nice, kind of handy thing. I could do that. Okay. I'm not sure why this does. Oh, the hand's too big for the grip on. Interesting. Okay. All right. Get in there. Well, that's not working. Really? Won't be like that, huh? All right. Everything's falling apart. Come on. See, this is why the people do the pre-recorded things, so you don't have to see all of their foo-foo boo-boos. But you know what? I don't care. All right, so I'm going that side. Come on. Hey, maybe get there, sort of, maybe, or not. Yeah, we're good. What's up, Ed?
What's up, brother?
Oh, not much. Just putting together a couple things that I got this week. Doing a little short live to.
You only got a couple things this week.
Well, no, I have more, but I'm only doing a couple of them. So the ones that I think a lot of people have been wanting to see.
Yeah.
That they don't.
So which one are you doing now? The mole rat? I was watching Unboxing Art's 4,000 subscriber giveaway. So
yeah, this is good stuff. I kind of like it. I dig it with both heads, but I will probably leave it with the gas mask head just for the
yes, mask.
look.
Yeah.
It's a nice look. Comes with a Geiger counter. I mean, and the weapon's modular. This comes off this drill press, and then the gun part snaps into that same spot. So
That's a nice
kind of
little
nice.
thing. Can you store the barrel or the drill part on the figure when it's not on the gun?
There's a little clip on the back of the. So I would assume yes. If I'm hazarding to guess, I think it's mainly for the drill though, because it's curved. So I don't know though. You could probably fit that barrel on there because there's a little gap right here.
Yeah.
In between. So that's probably where that goes. If I had to guess.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he comes with a little lantern.
Well,
There's just
decent.
little weird things. And this head is actually a lot better than I was expecting. I'm not gonna have to do as much to it as I thought I was going to.
Oh yeah, you might just be able to get away with a little wash and you're golden.
I was thinking I was gonna have to do a lot more to it. But I really like it. And the articulation's pretty good. It's not overly top heavy, which is good considering I find too many of these that way.
Yeah, I have a hard time standing up my classified figures.
Well, it's the drop down hips that really, really mess with you.
Yeah, that's the problem I always have is the legs are always off.
Yeah.
One always seems to be really long compared to the others. So.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, he's not bad. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
I got him down in the squatty.
Did you get into Snow Job yet?
Oh, yeah. I've had him for a while. He's up in the shelf in the bedroom. So,
he's a pretty cool looking figure.
He is. I was very disappointed with the gun because if you have it shoulder shot, it bends the butt. So that's kind of one of those things that just irritated me about it. So, but yeah, I just figured I'd come do a quick unboxing for a couple of the stuff, and my wife's alive, so kids are roughly in bed. Now, 16-year-old, he's not in bed yet. I love the art.
I wish Hasbro would put a poster out with all the inside box art like those, the black and white pictures.
Wouldn't it?
That'd be awesome. I've been saving all mine.
All that art and posters. I would just take a poster of each one, tie them all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I've been trying to save all mine. I might scan them in and see if I can print something out. You know, like make something big and then have it printed out.
And then
the double bubble trouble.
Yeah, I got two of them, but I'm only doing the one. But I've got Low Light, Tonal Rat, and Grunt over there also. But
yeah, I watched Lawrence's review of Tonal Rat yesterday morning. That looks like a pretty cool figure. Grunt looks all right.
Tonal Rat was one of my favorites. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to finally get a new representation of that one.
Yeah, Tonal Rat was a cool figure, and he was a really cool character, especially in the comics.
Yeah. What's up, Sir Clifton and Jacob? How are you guys tonight? Yeah, I just saw a post that Larry Hama has COVID or something, maybe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the Joe Fest guys put up a post wishing him well.
Larry's a really cool guy, man.
I never got to meet him. So
I met him at one of the cons here in Buffalo. I think it was the year before COVID, so 2019. And he was doing autographs at his table. I mean, like hardly anybody even recognized him. And he just had a little sign, that just said Larry Hama. And but like the guys that did come up, like he was signing shit. Like he'd sign up like 3 to 5 things for free. He was
Nice.
doing like if you get the blank cover comics, he was doing quick
Yeah.
sketches on those for like $20. I mean, and I was over talking to him, and I had my GI Joe shirt on the one day I was at the con, and he signed that for me. And then I went behind the table, sat down with him, and he showed me pictures on his phone of like the guy he modeled Wild Bill after, and a couple of the other characters. And we sat behind his table for like an hour and a half, just bullshitting.
Cool.
Yeah, he was really cool, down to earth guy. Then told the story about how he got wrangled into doing GI Joe because nobody else wanted it in the Marvel.
Well, there's also a period where he was doing Wolverine's comic.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I can't imagine the editorial mess that would have been. I'm sure Joe, toward the end, didn't really care editorially with it. And I'm sure, once they're quit being a toy line directly tied to it, I'm sure they probably went a lot more hands off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So he got the lucky job of having a free reign for a while, I would imagine.
Hasbro's had some really good runs of comic book stories for GI Joe. It's just a shame that never turned any of those into like
movies,
a good animated cartoon movie. Like more of an adult oriented one, or like a good movie, right?
Yeah, Resolute's the best GI Joe movie that's ever been made. So,
well, I think that's been the problem, like with the live action, right? They want to keep it so it's focused towards kids, so they can quote unquote sell toys, but the kids don't really care about GI Joe unless they have a dad that cares about it, and then you're lucky. You're still lucky if they do.
And there's just that. I think there's still that negative connotation with anything that's military toy being, and there's always had that kind of thing, but I never took it that way. It's not like I went out and joined the military because I played with GI Joe.
I did. No, I'm just kidding.
That's you. You're special.
I am special ed.
But no, it's it's interesting to see kind of.
Well, the thing is with the Joes, it's kind of suspended. It's so highly imaginative, especially the cartoon, right? I mean, the cartoon back in the '80s was so far-fetched
out there.
It wasn't going to be, real military. So
it definitely took some liberties.
Yeah, I mean, like the 1960s Joes that were actually based off of real life military, equipment and figures and stuff like that. I get that part, right? But real American hero,
it's different,
Yeah.
Yes, very nice. Okay,
we all enjoyed it for sure, but it's
it was fun. I mean, it was kid fun. All right.
All the cartoons back then were kind of crazy, though. I mean, like GI Joe had the end of it where they, knowing is half the battle, and He-Man always had a lesson in his story.
That was all regulated, had to be done, kind of thing. So okay, all right.
What'd you lose now?
The lower blaster,
the big one.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. How'd you lose that? That thing's huge.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I have no idea.
Hasbro shorted you, man.
They may have. It's very possible.
It's not taped to like cardboard or anything in there, since it's so damn big.
Not that I can see.
Huh.
I don't know what did I do? Oh, duh. It's in the cardboard.
That was a snake. It would have bit you,
right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll try this again. Okay. This is so much smaller than the original one. Remember how big the original one was?
Oh
It's
yeah,
like massive compared to the Trouble Bubbles. This one's like tiny.
I love that they call that thing like an air mine or something, right? Is that that's what they're
Yeah,
calling it, right? Air mine.
something like that. But
Yeah.
realistically, how many mines are you going to throw up in an air? I'm just wondering.
Well,
Does it have its
supposedly
own hit?
the trouble bubble drops it in the midair, and then an enemy plane flies through it, and it hits
Yeah,
right at the cockpit of a GI Joe plane. The cockpit
yeah.
explodes, but the pilot can still parachute out.
Yes, everyone parachutes out in GI Joe. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, it does give you a little bit less left to right as long as you're inside the, I guess, landings, for lack of a better word, the landings pad. I don't know
Yeah.
how they would be called. It's weird. Oh, I dig that. The robot.
Oh yeah, the robot head looks nice.
I might have to throw that on there, but this is, no matter how weird the Televiper is for some people, for me, it was always a cool figure. I didn't care that his eyes said what he was thinking.
Yeah,
It didn't bother me as much.
that was just an '80s thing anyway.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, if you had a team of, oh, hello.
Stiff,
Oh, yeah, that's
stiff
interesting.
knees.
Yeah, that one's a little bit tight. Yeah, that one's a little tight. That's going to take some work. All right, got to get the heat for that one. All right, let's see how we doing there. Looks good. We can do our cheers. Whee! So we're good. Rest of them look good. All right. Ankles, yeah. That.
It's so
Yeah.
funny how on not just Joe's, all sorts of figures, there's always like that one joint, whether it's an elbow, a shoulder, a knee joint. It's always just one. That's just
One
like
that's tight, yeah.
yeah.
Why is this? What? Who did this? What?
I
Maybe
opened
that's
up
like
an
maybe
action
that's a
force stick,
requirement at the factory that one
right?
joint must
Yeah,
be. You must make one joint difficult.
yeah. Give these people something to really complain about. I
There
opened
you
up
go.
an action force figure. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was one of their basic troopers from the SDS series recently, and like everything was loose except for the one ankle was so tight I had to like soak it for I don't know like 3 minutes in hot water just to get it to break free. And I was like, what the
It,
hell?
yeah,
Everything else was fine. I could bend all the other joints just fine, but I couldn't get him to stand because his ankle was like in a like pointing up. I was like,
that's not bad. Articulation is standard as always, but it's not like they're doing anything different. And I'm sorry, I'm going to the robot head just for the shits and grins.
the robot head's awesome.
That's a little tight. Okay.
So
At
you
least it's
think
on.
they're going to release Televipers without the trouble bubble so you can have
I
an
would
armored bubble?
imagine. I would imagine. I mean, yeah, but they've already got two sets,
Yeah.
and then the second set is $10 cheaper.
Yep.
Not a good look.
No.
It's not a good look.
I don't know. I don't know why they did that.
I'm sure Target probably had a price point requirement for that.
Because it is Target exclusive, right? So
Yeah. Well, Target exclusive in the US. It's
yeah,
Toys R Us in Canada.
they might put that price tag on there because so many of those figures all around get discounted now before people start buying
Well,
them. You know.
yeah, they're buying them before from other retailers instead
Yep.
of mass market.
Yep.
So they're just sitting and eating inventory space.
Yeah. Then they end up
Can't
taking a
imagine the
loss
shelf
on them.
velocity is too high on those.
Yeah, and they're taking a loss on. We got at my local Walmart. There's 3 of the scrap iron sets and 4 of the snake eye sets that have been, they're $45 or whatever. They've been on the shelf for I don't know, a couple
Yeah,
months now. Haven't
yeah.
moved at all.
My Walmart is like, come hell or high water, they're not going to discount.
Yep, that's how mine is
Nothing
too.
clearance is out at mine.
No,
So it's like,
I was
any of the ones around here, for the most part, I can't
yeah.
find any decent clearance. Now, Target, on the other hand, whew,
My Walmart had a bunch of like the McFarlane Superpowers figures, and I was basically just getting them for the Batman and Robin because I have my original Batmobile and my
Yeah.
original Robin, but I was looking for Batman. But then Luke, my son, he's a Nightwing fan, so they had the Nightwings on clearance for like $3 or $4. So I
Nice.
picked one up, and then I went back like a week later, and they were back at regular price on the pegs again. I was like,
Yeah, I don't get that either. I've been seeing that a lot at Walmart. I don't understand what they're
Yep.
doing. The only thing I can assume is that it's a SKU issue.
it's got to be something because when I was working for Walmart, all those markdowns came down from corporate, right? It wasn't a store chosen thing. Stores could choose to have like a special buy or something like that, but they couldn't choose what went on clearance. That all came down from up above.
So I wonder if they've changed that policy to where it's now the store manager's choice. And I
Yeah,
wonder
it
if
might
the
be.
ones that are
They
higher
might have
strength are just
yeah,
not taking that.
yeah. They might have a certain amount of decision or capabilities of making that decision.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
always
know.
interesting.
I haven't been there for a long. I worked there for a long time, so
I worked at Target and Kmart, so I was a loss prevention manager at Kmart and an executive assistant at Target. So there's always those interesting things that they did that made no sense
yeah.
whatsoever. So okay, you're gonna be a little top heavy, aren't you? Okay, all right. See what we can get out of you. Maybe it's not too bad. Nah, that's not too bad.
No, not too bad at all.
I didn't have to sit there and fiddle with you for. I sent Oz an invite too, and he says, "Oh, is this now?" Well, yeah, but I'm almost done, Oz.
Did you when do you guys getting your hisses sent out to you so you can finish your dial?
I would assume anytime because I know that apparently they're in the docks.
Really, that's awesome.
So I would imagine it'll probably be in the next month or two. It'd be nice to get it before Christmas. That way I can finish that diorama and get that out of the way. Then I have to worry about that Robo Skull coming at some other point. And that thing's just as big, but I got the stand for that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm probably going to have to hang you.
Yep. That's all right. That'll be a cool thing to have hanging though in your room.
It would, but I would be worried because that's not a small vehicle that comes crashing down on your face.
That's true. Make sure you have some good fishing line and some really heavy duty hooks.
Yeah, exactly. No, that would be more than fishing line for that one.
Yeah.
Just as a safety precaution. All right. Oh, look at Cobra. They're so safety conscious. Their safety awareness officer is going full overdrive.
Yeah.
Except
I realize you're flying in an open cockpit above the ground
exactly.
on an explosive air mine, but we'll throw a seatbelt on there.
Yeah, I can't wait for the fangs.
Yeah.
Now just imagine that. The Cobra safety officer has now installed a seatbelt.
Yeah.
While that spinning rotor right above your head.
Well, that's like
fair warning for tall riders may be in danger.
What was that other vehicle? The Skyhawk that G.I. Joe had, right? You could put one or two figures in the cockpit.
It was one person in the cockpit usually.
But then it had like pegs on the rails
sides,
for like 4 figures. I'm like, yeah, you're flying around to the sky, hanging onto the outside of this.
That's the trick that a lot of the some companies are using, saying, "Oh, it'll hold 10 figures."
Yeah, Balaverse for sure, right? That's what they're doing with their Vanguard.
Where are you going to hold 10 figures? Oh, it's only 3 on the inside. The other 7 have to be hanging onto the roll bars.
Yeah, you can put 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 1 in the canopy, and then 1 in the trunk, and then 4 figures can ride on the.
What determines who gets in the trunk?
Whoever can shoot the gun while they're bouncing around in the back of the 4-wheel drive truck.
Exactly. Well, the person that's miraculously shooting a gun and a moving object that is bouncing at a higher velocity, that'll work out. That bullet will be safe, right?
Yeah, it's just cover fire. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it would be.
Yep, just cover fire.
It did nothing at that rate.
Just keep them back far enough where they won't get hit, and then.
Yeah, those are going to be a problem. I'm going to have to glue those in, I think.
What's that? The little side missiles?
The side, these things are probably going to have to get glued in.
Yeah, Robo was showing that on his review the other day at the Trouble Bubble. He said he was going to do the same thing because when you take the missiles off, the whole thing pops out.
Well, no, they're just loose. They don't.
Oh, his were tight, but the missiles,
yeah.
when he put the missiles on there to try to take the missiles off, then the whole thing would just come out. So he's like,
well, yeah,
these don't
that's
need
what
to
I'm
come
saying.
out.
Is either this peg is too small or this hole is too big.
Yep.
One of those two. So yeah, you're gonna have to glue it in there, and that's fine, I guess.
Yeah,
but
they're not supposed to come out anyway. So
no, they're not. I mean, the original one, I don't know why they did just leave the pegs there. It's not like they packaged it in a way that
yeah, I don't know why they didn't mold that in.
Off.
They could have molded that in, or factory.
Well, they did on the original, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, sure. All that stuff for the missiles was part of the mold.
I mean, I've been about 96. So what year is it now? Last time I looked at my
23
original Joes. Last time I saw any of my Joes was 1996.
So it's been a few years.
It's been a few years. Poor things. I hope somebody got them and treated them well. But no, I dig it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that Trouble Ball was a nice looking vehicle.
This is going to be in my Hiss Tank Dio. It's going to be one of the two vehicles that are flanking.
Yeah, that's going to look badass flying down that cavern or gully, whatever the hell you want to call it. The Dio you're building with the hiss in the valley.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it. I'm glad I got two. Well, then I got two Python Patrol ones too. So.
Oh, did you get two Python Patrols? Yeah.
Yeah. I figure worst case scenario, if I want one more white,
yeah,
I can just paint it, and I've got.
I tell you, the tinted shield on that one is pretty badass looking.
I do like that a little bit better too. But I guess if I wanted just the class, I'm glad I canceled the 3 that I bought of the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I should have realized they would probably do that. So I'll go ahead and open up my Mr. Larry Hama's homage character. So guess I'm gonna break out some super glue tomorrow. I've sold one of my eels, so I gotta ship it off tomorrow.
You sold one of the eels? How many did you have?
I had 5 total, but I'm selling one, so I don't need 5 anymore. I don't have room for it. Plus, I realize there's going to be hydro.
Even if you build a water display, I mean, you got your water moccasin, you got a couple of eels, and then torpedo, and then whatever the hell the water moccasin driver name is.
So Copperhead.
Copperhead. I mean, that's a pretty full dio right there.
Yeah. Oh, hello. All right, another tidy. Okay. There we go. The only thing I don't like sometimes is the way that they do their thigh holsters and stuff. Sometimes they're a little loose.
Yeah.
And you really can't tighten them up too much. I mean, you have to glue them down.
Yeah, some of them are really bad. Some of them are like so tight that you try pulling them up and then they get loose, and then you're like, damn.
But I don't know if these are the new shoulders or the old shoulders, because the Snow Serpents and Snow Job have ball joint shoulders.
Really?
Because I saw somebody tear one down, and it's the same body for both, so I assume that it's the same on both.
Huh.
So it's an interesting thing because it makes it customizing a little bit more difficult.
You just never know what you're going to get with Hasbro. They change things so much on the fly, it's not even funny.
I'm sure it's probably to make it more stable over time, because they were concerned about it. But whatever. Okay.
Oh, that
Great
looks
art.
so awesome. That is great. It even looks better in the black and white than the outside of the package.
There's some of them I almost prefer in the black and white.
Yep.
Just the way it is, like the Alley Vipers
Yeah.
in
Yep.
black and white. It's awesome looking.
The rock and roll in black and white is badass too.
Oh yeah,
I love
exactly.
that one.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. You got a little left and right, and up. Nope, up and down. Huh. He has an up and down hinge.
Really?
Yep.
And that's the hand he came with in the box? That's
Yeah.
impressive. Wow.
I was kind of expecting back and forth, but this is
Yeah.
up and down, and the other one is back and forth. Nice. Huh.
I don't even know
Is
what
that the way
gun.
everybody is? Hang on. Well, some bitch.
It says like that too?
No, this one is both. Okay. So
That's
that's
interesting.
exclusive to him. Got an up,
That
down,
doesn't
and you
even
got
make
left, right.
sense with the weapons that he's been given, right? He's got the M60 and a couple of handguns, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the snub nose.
Yeah, but it still doesn't make sense to give him that up and down hand.
No, not really.
It's not like he has a sniper rifle or something like that that would require that.
Yeah, no.
Maybe they
But
gave it to him so he can have knife fights since it's Larry Hamill.
probably. I mean, he's got a nice knife.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
not
it's a
bad.
nice looking knife. Yep.
I mean, at least it's two colors.
Right. It's not straight molded black plastic.
Yeah. I do like that they updated his night vision goggles.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him something that's a little more modern.
I know. I heard people complaining about that. I'm like, why would you complain about an updated accessory? I mean, you just can't make some of these G.I. Joe collectors happy. Oh my God, look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
What's up, Oz?
It's a bald and beautiful bear coming to hang out.
Ooh, I like
All
bears.
right. Well, I just did this impromptu, so I sent you guys the links. I couldn't find the chat that was with the group of folks for.
That's
These,
Instagram for you. I have another
yeah,
chat
it
that
just-
I'm in with
it-
4 of my really good friends, and that chat just disappears sometimes on Instagram.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that
all
seems
of
to be
the
the
all
way
of
of it
the
lately.
group chats that I'm in disappear when I'm on.
Yep. Yeah, it depends on what media form you're using too. Oh, Thanos is joining us too. What's up, Thanos?
Hey, there's the
What's up,
man.
Got Thanos
Hope
and
you're doing well today.
Cobb and Duffman in the chat. And,
I know. All
who else we got up
legends.
there? Oh, Gap
Attorney and
After Dark.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
we got.
Attorney Ellipse is in there.
That's right, Sir Clifton's come to hang
Yeah.
out.
Nice.
So we're doing a little midweek unboxing. I got this mail
What'd you get?
call.
Oh,
I wonder who this is from.
I don't know,
Wait, before you open that, you got to do the Blues Clues mail song.
but
I was not a Blues Clues guy.
but he is the person that sent it to you. I believe is bald as well,
He is definitely
Oh.
bald.
Yeah.
follically
and,
challenged.
and wears glasses.
Wears
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah,
He doesn't have that big, beautiful bear beard though, like you guys.
That's true.
yeah. I'm working on it.
Working
It's
on
winter
it. getting
time. My beard will grow out.
it. Yeah.
Funny story. I was hanging out with Luke, my son, yesterday, and he's like, "Dad, I'm going to grow a beard. It's almost No Shave November." I was like, "Son, it's probably going to be close to November before you can even see that you're growing a beard." His mustache comes in real nice, but you know how it is when you're
Right.
17, 18. You just turned 18.
Oh,
the other
yeah.
day,
Oh
so,
yeah.
I remember turning 12 and I had those
Yep.
first couple of hairs on my chin, and I was just
Yeah.
like, ooh, I got a
Yeah.
beard.
Yeah.
So, a wonderful man named Aaron Samples sent over this guy who I'd been eyeing up at Ollie's for a couple of weeks now because I don't want the rest of it. That little boombox right there.
Oh, that's right. You wanted the boom box.
That's all I want. Just that boombox.
You know what? For $5.99, it was worth it just to put it out there.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I was already
I tell you,
sending you the
my-
other things. I was like, I knew somebody needed it. I couldn't. That's why I put in the group chat. Like, who was needing the thing?
Who needed
I
this
literally
guy?
went there the other day, and they have a bunch more of the Fortnite stuff. They have like man
Yeah.
cakes and
Well,
everything else on sale.
the funny part is like one of the ones around here has like a bunch of the boom boxes. Another, or not the boom boxes. I mean, yes, one of them has a bunch of the figures. The other one has all the arcade cabinets, and they've got like boxes and boxes full of these. And I was just like, what am I going to do with all these weapons? But I do want a couple of the cabinets. So now
And I wanted the weapons and not the cabinets. So
right. Well, if I buy
Less
a
stuff
couple
in my
more,
house.
if you want some more weapons, let me know. Because again, these are like $2 to $3 or whatever like that, but they
Yeah.
make cool little prompts. You can,
Well, there was a very specific weapon that I was going for, which was the sniper rifle.
Okay.
It was
So,
actually a lot better than most of the Joe snipers.
right.
Did you get that sniper rifle?
It's like an M50, I think.
Yeah, but did you get it?
Yeah.
Do you have it now? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've got 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
So they only come in the one style cabinet? Because like I've seen them where they've got like different.
Yeah, each
slightly
cabinet
different
has a different set of weapons.
Yeah. Well, now I want to go online and find somebody that has like stickers or something, or I don't know. Maybe I'll print off, but like I wouldn't mind
You
putting.
can. I will send you some information on a guy that sells just the stickers.
Nice.
I know I've got him somewhere in my
I want to
Instagram.
make some better arcade cabinets out of these. Ones that we more recognize.
Yeah, he's got like Street Fighter and X-Men and a bunch of. There's like a.
You're gonna put that in your Snake Mountain or your Grayskull. What are you gonna do with that, Baz? I remember you told me. I can't remember now.
So, eventually, I'm going to get a Ghostbusters, firehouse again.
Right, that's right.
And I thought it'd be cool. I mean, it doesn't mean you're not going to find one in here or in Snake Mountain. As a matter of fact, the computer console that Radnod sent me, I'm going to be putting that in Snake Mountain when that finally arrives.
Oh, that'll go good in there.
It'll work.
Yeah. I thought it would look good in that, like especially with like the red colors and everything. I thought it would. He
basically built that designed after like some of the AWOC stuff. So I mean, it definitely fits into the Masterverse and Motu stuff. So
yeah, I just thought it would be a good fit. And who knows, that computer console may make its way over into the firehouse when I get that, but it would look good.
You need to do something that breaks the 4D, like put a Ghostbusters arcade game in the Ghostbusters firehouse.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be cool. That would be cool.
Because like in number 2, they were like, selling merch and stuff. So they
had all kinds. That would be great. Like, somebody made a video game of us and be like the old Sega Genesis game.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. So what are you working on?
Me?
Yeah.
I am trying to get Tunnel Rat to go 2-handed with his damn gun. It's having the same I had with our friend Snowjob, but I think this one might actually be a little worse because he's got a choke way up on that gun.
Right.
Maybe that's why they gave him that drop down wrist.
Yeah. I don't know.
But that's the same M60 that comes with rock and roll, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it. But I'd have to have them both out here to really compare it.
I always liked the Tunnel Rat, toy back in the day. Figure. Yeah.
I just loved it because of the nice little lanterns. And
I was going to say, like, you get the little add-ons to his pack and everything like that. And
I still had.
I never had that figure as a kid. How small were those flashlights?
Oh, they were tiny.
Man, what flashlights?
Yeah, right.
No, I still had mine.
Really?
So they got sold.
Oh, okay. I'm impressed. Yeah, because I remember having that guy. I was walking through Toys R Us, or was it Kitty City? I think it was Kitty City. And, I had like some birthday money or whatever like that. And I picked up Rock and Roll with the talking backpack.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Flint with the talking backpack. And then I picked up Tunnel Rat just because I liked all the accessories he came with. I'm a sucker when they got good accessories. So,
but no, I was showing off the mole rat.
Right. It's a twisted looking figure, man. Oh, he's not a tumor.
Definitely.
That gas
They did a
mask
better
looks
paint
so
job
good,
than I was
though.
expecting.
It does. You know, it really reminds me of Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I love that game.
That's been forever since I played that game.
Goodness. All right.
You know, I used to play the original game on regular Nintendo.
Yeah.
And
That's
man,
when I played it.
Dude, I never made it past the dog when I was a kid, when I first had it. Like the dogs at the very beginning of the game, like you're on the one screen, you get the incoming message from Big Boss, and then you go into the next screen, and then there's these dogs. I never figured out to like go hide in the truck or whatever like that. None of that shit. And I was like, man, this game is stupid. Years later, played Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation, and I just fell in love with it. Like the overall cinematic feel of it is really.
Oh, you're
really
talking
good.
about NES version.
Well, I was talking about like I eventually got the PlayStation version and loved that, but yeah, in the original NES version is so hard. Damn right. Then I went back and I was like, you know what? I remember having a game on Nintendo. So I went back home because I was playing Metal Gear Solid at a buddy's house. And I went back to go start playing it, and I was playing it, and again, I was having issues. I kind of figured out how to get past that part, but I kept getting sabotaged. And as I was playing it, one of my buddies was like, you know, if you listen to Big Boss, you're just going to die, right? Like, go, like, do things not exactly as he says them. Or do things like, if he says to do this, do the exact opposite. And you know, the game actually got a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
But that's because Big Boss didn't want you to win. He don't want you to make it to the end. You don't know he's a bad guy, though. So
I'm
it's
saving
like,
some stuff for Saturday, but I wanted to open those two at least. I've still got another Trouble Bubble to open too.
Nice.
So,
I don't
You know what's
actually know
funny
if
is
I'm going
when-
to have anything to open this Saturday, really.
When PlayStation first came out, the graphics in those games was absolutely mind blowing when that first came out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was like, wow, I remember playing Driver on PlayStation, the first one, right? It was like, oh my god,
man,
this
that was
is
a good
amazing.
game. Driver was a really good,
it was
fun
such
game.
a fun game. You could just play for hours, just smashing
Yeah.
shit up.
Well, it's what people fell in love with Grand Theft Auto eventually when it went to PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
You know, but like you remember trying to talk to people about Grand Theft Auto when it was out on the original PlayStation with the top down. It was a very select group of people that enjoyed that game. Yeah. Not many people did. They couldn't deal with the top down. I gotta say, it's probably one of the fun parts of being in our age range, because we remember the real basic, terrible looking video games, but man, were we entertained for hours with them, though.
Oh yeah,
like man, Pong
anyone?
It was like one of the greatest things on earth.
2600.
All you're doing is just bouncing this ball back and forth.
Combat with those tanks,
right? Barely looked like tanks.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Tecmo Bowl being the big graphics boost, because before that you had stuff like, you know, oh man, like All American Football or whatever on Atari. It was like, this is football.
First and 10
on whatever it looked like, because you barely call that thing a football field.
It's like, I remember playing, there was a bowling game that was like a 2-player game on Atari 2600, you know, and the figures were square. They looked, you know, horrible. Your ball was square and it had like 6 pins instead of 10. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, and then like, you know, because we had, my dad had a Commodore 64. So everything was all real text-based and stuff like that. You had to type everything out. Basically, you had to learn how to program to play the game.
Yeah.
But man, you know, it was fun. And then just watching it as it evolved. And
that's what the games were back then, though, man. Games were designed to help you learn how to code computers, right? And
pretty much, yeah. Figure out how to use them.
Yeah.
That's why every game today or every computer out today still pretty much comes with solitaire. And the whole reason they designed the solitaire game was to teach people how to point and click with a mouse.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, this is gonna annoy me.
Just put his pistol in his hand. He's got a cool looking pistol. Give it to him.
Well,
Or
okay.
you're trying to get him in a
Give
prone
me a
position.
guy. Yeah, he's not gonna do
So
hot on
yeah,
the
his
ground.
head doesn't come back hard enough for him.
There's not enough give.
Gonna have to do some slight modification.
Yeah, cut
Yeah.
a hole in his head.
I'm gonna have to. Well, no, it'll be more like drilling out some of that
Yeah.
ball joint.
Just a little bit. Yeah, because he should be able to go completely prone and hold his rifle.
You think so? He is a tunnel rat.
Right? Yeah, he's supposed to be on his belly crawling through stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, Allison's here. Hi, Allison.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got a couple more people
Allison.
jumping in. We have Onryu, Highly and
Yeah.
Dread.
Up, yeah, and Tiger Electronic Baseball. I did the football.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, them
Hours.
Tiger games. Them little handheld Tiger games, man.
Oh, yeah.
Those were it. You had a road trip, man. Grab that little Tiger.
Yeah.
I remember getting so excited. I had Mortal Kombat and I'm playing it, and I'm like, this is nothing like the damn arcade.
I was old school. My first handheld game was one of those water ones where you push the little buttons.
Oh
and shoot the
yeah,
air.
I had that too.
Yeah.
He shoots
ring-
the air bubbles up,
rings
and you
on
get
the
the
hook.
rings
Oh,
on the
I was
peg.
talking about the football games where you have the little light.
Oh, the little red dot. That's all you got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
God, that was fun time. So we were like
Oh.
so blown away that was just even
Yeah.
possible. You know?
Right?
I can
Like,
remember
even
the
that,
first
so
Game Boy,
simplistic.
and
Yeah.
how excited I was for that.
Yeah.
That
You-
really weird Super Mario that graphics
Didn't play
are
really
just
like the others.
yeah, the sprite dots are weird.
Yeah. The well, God, I remember like playing the original Metroid, loving that, and then like the second one came out for the Game Boy. And I was just like, I don't have a Game Boy, but I want to play the next Metroid, but I don't have a Game Boy.
All right, yeah, that
That got weird for a while because then they started making all these games specifically for certain, systems, right?
Well,
Yeah.
then they
certain
went
versions.
Then they
yeah.
went free for all, and then they went back to this is only PlayStation, this is only Xbox, this is. I'm like,
It's how do we make money with those exclusive rights? If
Yep.
the software company making the game can tend to make the most money by selling to all consoles.
Yep.
Unless a company wants to spend big bucks so that is an exclusive to their system.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta weigh, is my game gonna be popular enough that I can make more money selling to every console? Or could I sell it as an exclusive to one of these guys and get a big paycheck?
Yep.
And some of that is companies just really trying to stranglehold the market so that they can still stay relevant.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm
because they're worried they're losing market share, and the best way to keep that from happening is snap up
Halo, anyone?
companies.
well, I was gonna
Huh?
say I used to be
I said Halo, anyone?
I was a huge PlayStation fan. Up to the PlayStation 2. When PlayStation 3 came out, it was kind of out of my price range. Like
It was out of
especially
a lot of people's price range at $600.
well, when they made the initial announcement, they were saying $1,200. So I automatically wrote it off, even though they brought down the price because everybody wrote it off at that price.
Yep.
Yeah,
So they brought it down to something that was more affordable. It was still one of the cheapest Blu-ray players you could buy on the market
Yep.
at the time. But, I just didn't have the money. I also
well,
wasn't
had
home
Disney
enough.
not backed Blu-ray, we'd be in a very different era.
Oh
That's
yeah.
true. Disney and
Yep.
porn. They backed Blu-ray and Blu-ray
Yep.
won. Two biggest forms of entertainment.
I remember my brother-in-law went out and bought a DVD player when they first got launched, and it was like $1,279.
Yeah.
At Sears. I went with him. He's
Yeah.
like, come with me. I got to pick out a DVD player. And I'm like, what's a DVD player? And he's like, oh, it's all this, right? And I was like, oh, it's like that. And he's like, yeah.
It's like a
And
laser
then-
disc, except it's a lot smaller.
He's
I
like, it's
think
like
I
a
paid
CD. It's a CD with a
$600 for
movie
my
on
first
it.
one.
It's like, ooh.
Well, see, I paid my original DVD player was my PlayStation 2. That was, I looked at the
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 being worth the $300 because I got a PlayStation 1, a PlayStation 2, and a DVD
Yeah.
player.
DVD player. Yeah.
So then PlayStation was coming out. Blu-ray hadn't quite won the war yet.
Yeah, because we had what? We had high definition that was Microsoft. Then
HD DVD.
yeah, HD
Yeah.
DVD.
Just keep adding initials to the end of that thing there.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
But I ended up getting an Xbox 360. Now, I used to joke on Xbox only because I remember when the original Xbox launched, they didn't put ventilation on the system. Like, you guys are a computer company. You know the importance of ventilating your hardware.
No, they don't.
And they just completely failed at
Especially
putting
knowing that
fans on them.
something's going to get stuck in a TV cabinet.
Right? So it got real hot and burned out.
Yep.
And then it was like Xbox 360 came out, and I'm like, I don't know about this. And they basically repeated the same problem.
Well, a lot of that was that
Gen
the
1
thermal
they did.
paste that they used and the
Yep.
combination of the
What was the
heat sink.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, they advertised the freaking thing laying on its side. They know the design of people's cabinets, entertainment centers, and how they were. So they advertised this thing laying on its side all the freaking time.
Yep.
And you're closing, you're blocking off two vents, and then you're putting it inside this little tiny boxed area on an entertainment stand, and you're just going to cook your own system.
Yep.
Exactly.
So then there was the problem where the discs would fall out of the disk tray.
Yep.
And then you would get, they called it laser burn, but it wasn't actually a laser burn. It was the disc spinning on hard plastic and getting ground into this thing. I was like, man, this is crap. But yet I still ended up buying one. And in the end, it was the Xbox Live Network that won me over more than anything else. I was still a huge Halo fan. I was even from the original Xbox. I loved that game. It was one of my favorite shooters.
Yeah.
But it was the online play with me and my friends that won me over to Xbox. So Xbox One's coming out, and I was kind of all about Xbox One. And I actually, so many people hated the Kinect and everything else. Man, I loved the fact that I could walk into my apartment and I could say Xbox on, and boom, my TV and my game system would all start up. And you know what was even better than that? I walked into an apartment where I had my girlfriend, her daughter, and my son, and I could walk into this place and I could say something and somebody would fucking listen to me.
Your digital assistant is here to help you.
That's
right? No, I just
why
thought
can't you be more like Xbox One, damn it?
Exactly.
Just listen to me.
Right. Just listen to me, damn it. No, I actually really enjoyed the Kinect, and I thought it was pretty cool. I know a lot of people didn't care for it, didn't need it, didn't want it.
Yeah. The biggest problem I had with Xbox One is my daughter really wanted one, my oldest, and so I went and got her one, and not really understanding that most of it was downloaded games and online play. I was still working off of a satellite internet connection because we didn't have high speed where I live at the time, right? So I got it. I tried setting it up. I ended up taking it back because I was like, well, you're not even going to be able to play it. So I ended up buying her a 360, and she was fine with it. But.
Well, I got to say, that was one of the things that did kind of piss me off the most. Because when those first came out, and I was, we had just recently gotten into our apartment. We didn't have internet or anything yet, right? But I'm all excited because I'm just getting back from manager's conference, and I'm getting an Xbox One. I'm getting a PlayStation 4. These are being given to me by, technically, Activision gave us our Xbox Ones. Microsoft didn't. Activision did. But Sony was giving us a PlayStation 4. And I'm like, man, I can't wait to get these consoles. I'm getting them for free. This is going to be fantastic. So I get them. I bring them home. Go to plug them in and play them. And do an update. I don't have the internet to do an update.
Here's the other thing that I don't like about modern generation. They can ship a broken game.
Yep.
Back in the Genesis day, even up to PlayStation 2, you couldn't ship a broken game.
No.
Nope.
Because if you did, GameStop's going to get a bunch of games back.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look at how many people hated E.T.
Yeah.
E.T. wasn't even a broken game. People just couldn't figure out how to get past that first part.
E.T. killed it industry, though.
Yeah, it did. It really bombed. More games made than consoles owned. Not
Yeah,
a good business plan, guys.
yeah.
No.
It was
You waste a lot of money there.
the thing is that they gave the poor guy like 30 days to develop that game. Could you imagine if we tried to have somebody do a game in 30 days now?
It'd probably come out just as broken. Well, if they even
Probably.
got it off the ground.
Yeah,
But-
no, we'd still
Well,
be in the rendering phase.
Yeah.
Skyfall was what, 10 years in the making or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. They
Starfield,
worked
not
on all.
Skyfall, Starfield. I mean,
Starfield, yeah. We know what you meant.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I was
the
thinking James Bond there for a minute.
well, shoot, Fortnite. You know, I still remember when they first announced Fortnite, and it was at an E3. It was like the year before I became a store manager. They'd announced that game, and I was like, "Oh, that looks cool." It was supposed to be like this zombie game where you
Yep.
make it through the night, and they were developing it. And like 4 years later, I'm still like, "They ever going to come out with this Fortnite game?" And then it was like at that time, PUBG started to get real big,
Mhm.
and the battle royale type gameplay
Yeah.
was kind of dominating the online market. And next thing I know, Fortnite's hitting. I'm like, that is not the game that they sold us on all
Yep.
those years ago. It was completely different. Turns out all it was a game mode that they had developed, and they used to play in their downtime or their off time when they would hit a wall while trying to build the actual game that they were working on. You
Yeah,
know,
that sounds
and
about right.
then they were like, hey, why don't we just launch this? Because it's basically what PUBG is, and that's huge right now. And
Well, and
that's
that's a lot of that modern gaming theory.
yeah, well, because we
Just-
don't have to sell a whole game. We can sell a part of a game and then sell you the other parts.
As
You
we
know.
go.
Yeah.
I think any of
It's
this tech
working.
is ridiculous nowadays, though, because like if you go out and buy a brand new computer, you go out and buy a brand new video game, whatever it is, anything that's tech related, right? That's why am I having to do an update as soon as I turn this thing on? Or why am I having to do an update as soon as I plug this game in, right? It's like I get it if it's been sitting on the shelf for 3 years, yeah, but I mean, come on, if I'm getting a computer right from Microsoft or right from wherever, it should be ready to go. Not that I care about doing an update because it takes all of a minute and a half, but it's just our
That
phones too,
depends.
right? Well,
That
it's true. It
depends.
depends. Yeah.
I was going to say, when I first hooked up my PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, both systems I had to leave them over my buddy's house
Yep.
overnight to download the updates. And there
Yeah.
was no excuse for that. That shouldn't have been why.
No.
I should have
Yeah.
been able to take it home, turn it on, and play it. I shouldn't have had to deal with
Yeah.
anything else. The
A couple
only
years
time
ago, I got Luke a gaming computer from Best Buy, a really nice one. And when he first hooked it all up, it was a Christmas gift, so I helped him hook it all up and everything. And then he's all excited because he wants to play, a game because he's got a Microsoft account, so he can go out and play games. And it was like, oh, you got to download an update, and it was like 8 hours later,
Yeah.
it was like,
well, yeah, because it's not even like a small little megabyte kind of
Right.
thing. No, it's like
Yeah.
4 gigs.
yeah,
It's like what
We,
my download speeds are.
We moved the Xbox One out of my son's room because he doesn't use it because he's got the Series X now.
Yeah,
And we hooked it up in the guest bedroom for our guest. And it was like 4.7 gigabyte update. Now, it's only been since Christmas
yeah. What did you
that
really
that's been.
update?
yeah.
So you're talking about 4.7 gigabyte update in 9 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And I totally get what you're saying too about just like putting out a broken game. They put them out all the time now, and then they
Yeah.
we got to hit this launch date. Like, I don't
Yep.
know. Why don't you try giving yourself a little bit more time? We don't need an Assassin's Creed well, at the time I was working at GameStop, it was
Yeah, it was
really,
every year.
really bad about that. You
Yeah.
had the Call of Duty every year. You had Assassin's Creed every year. And it's like, look, guys, all right, the only reason that sports titles get away with this is because they don't let you download update rosters after the season it's played.
Exactly.
Like I can't update my 2010 to the 2011 roster.
And the changes they make are so incremental. It's not.
Well, that's just it, right? It's just like Skylanders, right? That game was so like every year they came out with one for like 5 or 6 years, but they were only changing a few characters.
Give
they
you a
weren't
couple more
adding-
character, maybe adding a different gimmick with the figures.
Right. Yep.
Like, you know, the first year you just had Skylanders, then the second year you had giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all that it was they made bigger figures.
Toys were cool.
Oh, I loved the toys.
Oh,
I thought
Skylanders
it was great.
awesome.
I thought it was one of the best.
And then the Lego Dimensions was really cool too.
Oh, that was even better.
Cool.
That
Lego
was
Dimensions
so much
was
better.
actually Luke had both of them. He liked Skylanders because that was more video game, whereas Lego Dimensions was more like a Minecraft.
Yeah.
You know, with mixed in with the be able
I just love the fact
fight.
They had sets of characters that you didn't have with regular Legos at the time. Yep. And that's what I really enjoy.
The Scooby and the Simpsons.
Ghostbusters, Simpsons. You had so many new licenses for this game that they didn't already own at the time. Doctor Who even.
Yeah.
Like I think that was the first time they had Doctor Who Legos. Which again, still really awesome.
And I'm all for the things when we get stuff that we don't get any other way.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the funny part is the reverse of this. Yeah, and Disney Infinity was really good too. I remember that being a really big thing.
It was more sandbox though than anything.
It was. The second one was way better than the first one too. Like when they came out with Disney Infinity 2, but the problem was they flooded the market with the game type and it killed it.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? Skylanders and all them were doing really good, but then like everybody was coming out with that type of collecting and playing type of game.
It was the next hot thing.
Yep.
I like that Disney decided, okay, we're going to keep the style of toy, but we're going to move it to just being a toy and we're going to forget about the game aspect.
Yeah.
I always thought that was really cool. It was a smart move on their behalf.
Yeah, well, think about how much money they invested. People that had invested in those collectible figures, right, for the game itself, right?
The funny part is everybody was thinking, "Oh, these are going to be worth something. These are going to be worth something." And then, like by the end of it, like people were trying. I'll never forget when we started taking those in for trade. That was one of the worst days. People were coming in with their whole collections.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
And this was like 3 or 4 years into those being around.
Yeah.
And like we literally had to have a binder like this thick with every game and every character sheet. Like you had to have a whole binder cataloging every figure that had ever been made for every series so that people who weren't into it could identify it. Like I could look at the time, I could look at the character and I knew who it was because I was into those. Toys and video games. Of course I was into it. But like, you know, we needed the SKU that we could scan to say how much it was. So like at first we're like giving like $3 or $4 per Skylander. You know, it was pretty good. People were coming in, trading a bunch of them in, getting their store credit, paying off like their pre-orders or whatever. And then I had like 6 big giant boxes in the back full of Skylanders that I had to have somebody sit back there and bag up. I had to dedicate a whole rack on the floor and still had like 2 boxes of Skylanders in the back of my store. And then the prices on them started tanking because nobody was coming in and buying the older figures. And like eventually that trade-in value went from like $1 or $2 per figure down to like
you know that model,
cents,
that figure, collecting figures and playing with your figures on a video game, that didn't like slowly die. That like basically just fell off the face of the earth.
It bombed.
Yeah.
It was like good, and all of a sudden it was just like gone. It was like holy shit.
I'm sure it was just the maximum saturation, and people just got tired of it.
Well, they did it a lot in those days because they were experimenting with a lot of different styles of games. Like a couple years before that,
the way that we can look at it is it's a different type of microtransaction.
It was.
Yep.
It really
They just gave you something physical.
They're updating all those games every year, right? There was a new Disney game. There's a new Skylanders out every year.
Well, it was the same thing when they did the Guitar Heroes.
Yeah.
You know, Guitar Heroes got big real quick. repopularized a lot of those dance games like DDR. They hit, it's something new, it's big, everybody tries to capitalize on it, and it's great. And just like any other bubble, it pops.
Yeah.
And then you can't get rid of it.
We used to, when my daughter was still living with us, we used to go and we'd play Rock Band for.
I always thought Rock Band was the fun party game.
Yeah, it is.
You got a bunch of people around.
It was a good family game because my daughter played the drums,
Yeah, exactly. And that was the best thing. No matter, when you guys were playing, you always put like somebody who just didn't care or was like the young one. You put them on the drums.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to hit the drum randomly anyway, and it's going to make them feel like they're there and play a song.
We were playing on, hard, so.
Well, in that case, she had to be good, but
my daughter was great with the drums. Honestly, she's a little more musically talented than her father.
Right. So I do remember them bringing it back. Like, it was around the time that last year they ended up sending me one of them. What was it? I don't think it was Guitar Hero. It may have been like a new Rock Band or something like that. They sent us the guitar. They sent us the game. It might have been Rocks. Yeah, I think no, not Rocksmith, because Rocksmith was the one you could do with the real guitar.
Yeah.
No, this one was. You know what? Never mind. It was both of them. It was Rock Band and Guitar Hero, except you got a guitar kit for both games. And I just gave them away because I wasn't interested. I gave them to one of my employees. I was like, here, you're more into this than I am. Go have fun. You have it. Because that was the other thing, too. When I got free games, like, I got Madden every year. I was never a big Madden player. So I always just gave it to whoever got the most Madden pre-orders or whatever like that in my store.
Yeah.
I didn't want the game. I was like, I'm going to get this free game, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
You used to just.
I think in college I worked at Babbage's.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Before GameStop bought them.
They used to have you take home like software and games and play them so you could tell people about them. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
Well,
take this stuff home.
See, the funny part was GameStop would allow us to borrow games, right? So anybody who's ever done business with GameStop before, this is one of the shittiest things ever. I could borrow a brand new game, right?
Okay.
Bring it home, take it, play it, get some game knowledge, bring it back to the store. We're going to go put it back in the drawer as a brand new game. We're going to sell it as a brand new game, even though I took it home and played it. I didn't use any codes or anything like that, but I took this brand new game home and I played it and I brought it back, right? Now, Ed, you go into a GameStop. You buy that brand new game. You take it home. You play it. You bring it back. We can't take that back as a new game. You've played it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do I sense hypocrisy?
Hey, Radnob's popping in.
There we go. Excellent. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, when I worked at Walmart, it was right when they started doing that whole thing where you can't bring back DVDs or computer games because people were burning them, which I get, right?
Yeah,
it became company-wide policy, right? But it's like, I remember when I was just an assistant manager before I got a store, I was in this one store and this lady was like, "This guy's trying to bring back this DVD." Now it's one of the $5 bin Beverly Hillbillies DVDs, right? The dude's like 90, right? He's like, "I don't know what's wrong with this DVD, but it's the third one I've brought back. I've turned them in, and it always does this thing at certain different spots, right?" So I'm like, "Well, how much of the DVD have you watched?" He's like, "Well, I only watch it until I see that glitch, and then I stop watching it." I'm like, "All right." I was like, "So what do you want to do?" He's like, "Well, I just want to return it and get my $5 back. I'll go find some other DVD that I can, because you could trade one for one, right? You could trade the same DVD for the same DVD if there was a defect, but you couldn't get a different movie." I was like, "All right, let's go take this DVD back to electronics and just pop it into one of the DVD players and show me this glitch, Well, it ended up being the fact that when they transposed some of the old footage onto the DVD, it was just the glitches in the actual process, right? From the old recordings, right? But he didn't know because he thought DVD meant that it was all clean and perfect, and all this other stuff.
Right.
So I was watching.
Well, technically,
like,
it's supposed to be.
Right. It should have been, right? But this is the $5 bin DVD, right? So I was like, sir, I think these glitches are actually part of the original recording, process. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I can't watch that. It makes me go crazy. I was like, all right, well, what do you want to do? He's like, can I get Gilligan's Island? I was like, yeah, take Gilligan. I mean, it was $5. These people were so obsessed with that $5, that DVD no return policy. I was like, come on, people.
Oh yeah,
he's 90. He's certainly not out burning the DVD. Let's start there, right?
No. I used
He
to.
wouldn't even know what that means.
Right?
Burning
He's
it.
like, why are people
Like in a
lighting them
fire?
on fire?
Exactly.
I'll never
Why
forget the
would I
first
do
time my
that?
buddy John talked to me about burning CDs. I was like, dude, why are you lighting your CDs on fire? And then he had to explain to me what it was. I was like, oh, that's cool as shit.
Yeah.
Why do they call it burning?
So you're dubbing it, right?
Right?
No,
You're like,
don't dub it. Yeah.
Technically, what you're doing chemically would be qualifying as a burn.
it's
That's true.
true. It's very true. It is what they were doing.
I still get a kick out of it when I go to my mom's house now, and she's like, we're like sitting around. She's like, "You want to watch something on TV?" I taped a bunch of things. I'm like, "Mom, you have a DVR. You ain't taping shit. You don't even have a functioning
We'll still
VCR
call
in
it
this
tape.
house." Yeah, she still calls it tape. I taped that. I'm like, "No, you didn't." She's like, "Yes, I did." I was like, "No, you didn't."
I do the same thing. I'll say stuff.
It's not
like
but
I just like to harass the shit out of her because she's like,
general ideas there.
yeah.
You know what though?
Meanwhile-
Like I wish I still had like a working VHS player and some good VHSs to sit
I
down
have
and
a
show
working
Connor.
VHS. I have a working
I do.
VHS.
It's not like
I
they
took
don't
very good
exist.
care
I
of
just
my
haven't
last
bought it.
VCR.
Yeah.
Right?
I have
My
a good
kids-
VCR in my bedroom still.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I pull it out because I have the original Star Wars.
Yeah. That's the only reason I still keep mine. It's
Yep.
original Star Wars.
The uncut,
Unmolested.
non-special edition.
Yeah.
That I
Oh,
pull
man.
out and watch.
When my kids were little, I didn't buy cable TV or nothing because I didn't want them to be stuck in front of the TV, right? So we had a DVD player once they became a little cheaper, but we always had a VCR, and I had 100 different, movies, DVDs, or not movies, but like Disney movies and kid movies, right? So at nighttime they watch an hour worth of tape before school. In the morning when they're eating their breakfast, they got to watch a little bit of tape, and that was it, right? So they all grew up like, I mean, my oldest, who's 25, knew how to program a VCR probably before my ex-wife even did, right? She was like playing with the buttons, figured it all out. She's like, okay, good to go.
Sorry, I'm doing a fight scene here.
Oh, very nice. Playing with your toys as it should
I am playing
be.
with my toys.
That's right.
I am playing with my toys. But
Yeah,
I'm
we know
saving
when the
some
last
stuff
time
for
you
Friday.
played is, Aaron.
Yep. Pretty much every day.
Oh, man.
Some way or another, I'm playing with something.
So-
whether
Did you guys see the
Pumpkins.
news today?
What news?
So, Four Horsemen posted that the new headless
figure
horseman.
obscura. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
posted on their post saying, you know what? I had budgeted for this for January.
That's supposed to be
Thanks.
future Oz's problem. You just
Yeah.
made it now Oz's problem. And I was like, I don't have this.
I think we'll get it
So-
within 6 weeks.
Well, here's the thing. I had to go on a BBTS because I immediately canceled. I'm like, I don't have this. So then I'd reached out to the guys in Legion's class, because we try to keep up to date on what's going on with Four Horsemen in there. Jesse reached out to me a little bit later and fortunately put me in touch with a guy in the Cabal who he is getting and he is selling, but he's working on a payment plan. So I'm still gonna get my repaints.
You could have done the PayPal and 4 with Peladot.
That's true, but the payment plan I've got worked out with him is going to be a little bit longer.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Trust me,
I ordered mine with BBTS too, so I already paid
Yeah.
that 10%. I'm not losing my money.
yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't too broken up, but
No.
I was definitely hurt this morning when I thought all was lost. Like it took me a bit to cancel because I was like trying to figure out how I could do it, and then eventually I just gave up. But Jesse got back to me and told me, he goes, dude, so here's this guy, and he's talking about working out payment plans with people. Contact him.
It's cool.
So I got saved. My Headless Horseman, I will still have. my second Father Christmas. Man, but that is not the news I wanted to wake up to today.
No.
Well,
No.
let me know if the Father Christmas thing doesn't go through, Oz, because I bought the original Father Christmas this week, and because I wasn't expecting this Father Christmas until after Christmas, and I'm building
You
a
wanted it
Christmas
for
dial, and so I'm not gonna have. I'll probably end up selling that. But so if you don't get one, let me know, and we can work out a thing.
I know somebody who might be interested, actually.
All right.
So I'll let you know. Put you in touch with them.
Yeah, no, it's on top of everything else this week because PulseCon Friday.
I was
so-
gonna say,
yeah.
PulseCon's hitting. Like, this is the worst time for you to get news about something coming in.
Yeah, I was like,
I know they
100%.
were. I know they pushed those to get them for the holidays, right? Because I bet you they're trying to get the Headless Horseheads out before
Halloween. Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Which is fine. It's just.
And I know there's a lot of people probably complaining because the Father Christmas wasn't going to be out until January, and everybody wanted it. Either for a Christmas gift or before Christmas.
And the other figures are not going to be till January.
They're probably going to be January.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I got one of those.
Yeah.
So
I didn't get the other two Mythic figures because I didn't need them.
I only got the elf because I wanted an elf.
Oh yeah.
I wanted the blue Hagnon because I like that transparent plastic. It's blue coloration. And then of course they did that Undead Legion builder.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, it's got.
I ordered some filament today, so.
Ooh, what you got cooking up?
I don't know yet.
There's so many possibilities. I gotta get you an STL file for some snake tails
filament.
Ooh, okay. So some Dio stuff then.
Yeah, it's Dio stuff.
Oh. Well, that's really nice.
We'll see how long it takes them to get here.
Yeah.
I love the fact that there's just this option. Like, I don't have to go buy some pre-constructed thing. I can go find a file and then I can do this. Have you worked on any which program are you using for any 3D modeling? Or are you still just buying files? What have you played with?
I'm not buying files. Thingiverse, I've done quite a bit of where I'm upscaling their stuff. I've got the class that I'm taking in Blender.
Yeah, that's what I was going to try to learn on because that Blender's been around forever.
Yeah, and it's open source and it's free. And,
yeah,
it's most commonly used one. I'm sure there's more fancy ones, but
they're definitely fancy. What's the popular one for the ZBrush? I think that's the big one that a lot of people like. A lot of the sculptors that we admire use ZBrush.
If I felt the need to indulge in a large expenditure to get ZBrush, then
right. Go for it. Right?
I don't know what Travis is using for Hex Stack, but
that's a good question. He's been modeling a lot of stuff. He's shown me a lot of things he's been working on.
Nine resin printers and one FDM printer now.
Oh, dude, he sent me a video the other day taking
of his workshop.
I'm like, oh, that is gorgeous. That is exactly the kind of setup that I wanted. And he's
happy.
When he was on my show last night, I was joking around. I was like, so are the LED lights that you have running around there just for mood, or you got a discotheque going on in there with fumes? What's going on? He's like, no, I just wanted some easy, cheap lighting that I didn't have to worry about. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
So
I'm
gonna show this to Happy. He hadn't seen it yet because he just came in. So
there.
Yeah, that head with a little bit of wash on there, dude.
That's
gonna look good. It just needs some of that detail brought out. That's all.
It's got more texture than it looked like.
Yep.
But
that's what I'm saying.
As soon as I
you give it a wash, bring out that detail, it'd be good.
Yeah. As soon as I blackwash that, it's gonna pop.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's kind of what I want to do with like King Hiss. He's got a lot of detail with the scales, but you can't see any of it because it looks just like a solid yellow blob.
Just one colored plastic. Yeah. It's what I did with the Range Viper's head because that gray is just all the same color. So I blackwashed it. Just the head. I didn't really need to blackwash the figure itself. I mean, I guess I could too, but
some figures don't really need it overall. but and that's my problem with a lot of like the different Masters of the Universe, because it's always very simplistic paint apps, which is kind of one of the charms to it.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of times there is so much sculpted detail in there that you just lose.
Well, yeah,
because
like
there's
these,
no paint app.
all of this fur would be great if it was black washed or gray washed.
Right, so you can see the
So you
detail of
see
how
the
much
fur
fur is
pop
there.
out.
Yeah.
Didn't the old one
Yeah.
have the gray wash on it?
Do what?
The original one didn't it have the gray wash in the fur?
I don't think on the collar, but I think
Yeah.
on the cuffs it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it
Because
did,
I
yeah.
always remember the collar part being like stark white, because
Yeah.
then the parka itself was like gray.
Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is.
But I think I remember, and it could just be from our tiny little dirty grubby
right?
fingers touching the gauntlets. But I always remember
Next
the
care
gauntlets.
package, Oz, I'll send you one of the spares.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah,
that I won't be
definitely.
using because it just makes them too damn heavy.
Well, like when I'd first seen it, I was like, ooh, I'd like those. I'd really like those. But then I was like, what could I use it for? And now, since we've been seeing, like, I don't know, getting that itch because of seeing all the fire and ice stuff, I was like, okay, it's not going to be the exact Dark Wolf, but I'm going to make kind of a Dark Wolf-esque character. And
I mean, you could make him pretty well out of that Batman.
The Batman, definitely. Oh, trust me, I want that. But I'm going to use this with Origins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I gotta start getting my other He-Man.
Yeah, Origins
I'm
will work.
hoping-
Masterverse.
Do what?
Said you could use Origins or Masterverse with that.
Yeah.
Make it
Need
work.
to paint up all of my Red Wings here from those Falcon figures that I bought. Yeah, those nice little flock
25
of
Falcons that you now have.
Look, I only got 5. There's still more for everybody else if you want a whole bunch of little birds to paint up whatever color. They're like $4 on Kids Warehouse.
Whatever. Yeah.
But trust me, I've thought about buying a handful more.
Why did you buy 5?
Because he wants birdies.
You wanted the birds.
I literally wanted the birds.
He just wanted the
and
birds.
Aaron, how
I
much
can't
could you
say
print one of
anything.
those birds out for?
I would imagine it probably wouldn't be very, very much to print them out.
Well, here's one of the main reasons that I wanted them. First off, they reminded me of all of the.
They're all a single color, right? There's no paint apps on them, right?
There's that tinge of yellow in the beak,
Okay.
the eye, and the feet. But that doesn't matter because I'm going to paint it all.
The bird.
I'm going to paint it all black.
Probably find a bird to print out.
The reason that I did that was because it doesn't fit as well on like an Origins hand. Like I could heat that up and stretch it out a little bit so it'll sit there. But it fits perfectly on Tila or the Sorceress.
Hey, Ed, did you need the Dealy? Where the hell is it? Did you need one of these in the computer center?
Oh, look at that chair. That's nice.
Because I printed out 3 and I sent one to John, one's for me. And I know you do a lot of photos, so.
You need a chair, Ed?
Yeah, I think.
Well, I've got the whole set.
Oh, you got a whole set?
Yeah, the chair and the computer center.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll take one for sure.
Okay. I've got to finish it, but
yeah,
once I finish it, I'll send it out.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready. I'll shoot you my address and whatever else.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude. That's awesome. I love that chair.
Yeah.
Right?
I can definitely put it to use.
Well, this is the first one I did. It's not my favorite, but it does have that nice kind of.
Yeah.
It can be used in a very futuristic way.
Yep.
Or in a very standard office-ish way.
Or even like vintage deco. Like look at a lot of the chairs from like the 60s going into the 70s.
Yeah,
actually, well, that'd be a cool chair for like some 66 Batman.
Yeah, that would work.
Chairs they're great. I like the chair. The console is kind of here or there, but I do like that, my custom picture that fits in that screen works out
Yeah,
right.
you detail it up a little bit with some add-ons, you're good to go. And
Yeah.
most of the time, if you're going to take a picture in a dial or a setup, you're not really going to see all of it anyway. You're just kind of
Yeah.
getting the feeling
Well,
of
it's
that's
like
what
what
it is.
Right.
John did with photo today for Mindbender.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I just figured I'd ask if you wanted one.
Yeah, I definitely take one. Thank you. I wasn't sure if you
Around
said
to
Ed or Oz. That's why I hesitated there for a second. So
do what?
I said I wasn't sure if you had said Ed or Oz. So I was hesitating there for a second.
Well, Oz doesn't do a whole lot of photos.
Once you said that, I knew who you were talking about because
Yeah.
I know Oz doesn't do a lot of fake photography. So
No, not yet. That's coming soon. I've
Once
got
he
to
gets
finish.
around to get on there.
Yeah, I've got to finish getting the rest of this all taken care of so that I can get my setup flipped around the way I want to. I can actually get myself a decent workstation, which I thought the way I had it set up now was going to work, but it's not. So, like I said, eventually all of this behind me isn't going to be behind me anymore. The computer's going to be over here, and this stuff will be along this wall, but then I'll have like a bookcase, those shelves, the dresser, and everything's going to be going over top of that. So like I'll finally take some pictures, and I'll have space for like, this is my Age of Apocalypse Marvel Legends section, this is my Ghostbusters section, this is, Masters of the Universe. So
Yeah,
it'll all come together.
I gotta wait and get my 2 new bookshelves, or not bookshelves, but my display shelves. I gotta pay off a couple things first. Since
people
we got a couple of
their
new
pre-orders early, we'd be all set.
right.
Yeah, that pre-order is just
Man, it killed me. It killed me this
I was
morning.
planning on getting one next month, but now I won't be getting that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna have to wait.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's like I saw that, I was like, oh, sweet. And then the first thing I thought was, oh man, there's probably a whole bunch of people that are canceling these orders right now because of all the GI Joes that just dropped that weren't supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everything else. Did you guys see that new Monster Force General Brown?
Yes,
Yes.
with the 3 heads.
Yeah,
I love
what
it.
an awesome looking figure, but he's not releasing until 2025.
Oh,
Well, I mean, if he keeps up schedule with everybody else, it'll be here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. You pre-order it today, and you'll get it tomorrow.
Yep. Don't worry about it. You want it to pay for a year and a quarter. Yep.
See,
Yeah, exactly.
that should have been our clue. The fact that Lady Slither shipped the same week that she went up for order should have been just like, okay, this is the first of a very bad series of news drops.
Exactly. Well, the thing is with that figure, though, Ed, is that just imagine that military uniform. It's going to sell out just because it's the military uniform.
Yeah.
People, customizers are going to go nuts with it.
Yeah. Well, I had a bunch of people like, Teflon, my buddy Rob there. He's like, oh, I got a couple of them because I want to make one into General Troutman for my Rambo figure,
Yeah.
And then he had a plan for something else. I mean, you can put it with an A-team setup. You could put it with
everything,
right? And then the actual original head that comes with the body looks like Carl Weathers. I mean,
I know. I saw that. I was like, when I saw that the first time, I was like, wait, they make a Carl Weathers figure?
Yeah.
Then I realized he was small, so I was like, maybe not. But,
well, it said Monster Squad, like, because at first I was thinking, when did Carl Weathers play a general? And like, he wasn't that high up in there. He was CIA. This is not really tactical uniform. It's a little bit more dress. But when did he play this? And then I'm like looking at the other heads, and I'm like, oh. And then Monster Squad. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Then it's got 3 heads, and it's got interchangeable hands. So some are black, some are Caucasian. That's like, holy shit, right? You could buy 8 of those figures and have a different.
What was the price on that, Ed?
Still $36.99 or whatever those are.
Which is a really good deal considering.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's got gridiron
3 heads.
Designed weapons, right?
I'm hoping they do
a bunch
weapons
of different hands,
packs.
3 heads.
I'm hoping they do weapons packs because I would love to see Mark's weapons.
Well, they're already doing exclusive accessory sets, so they have 2 of them out. One for the Delta Force and one for the Apophis Legion, which is a head, a couple accessories, and then a few weapons. And those are 20. I want to say 25. 22, 25.
Yeah, but
something
I'm
like
just
that.
talking about straight out weapons.
Oh yeah. So I'm saying
They-
that they probably will eventually because they're
Yeah.
already doing.
Because I would love to do
those.
that.
Yep.
That would make my conscience better buying something. Because I need weapons and I just can't.
Yeah.
I won't get into it here, but there's some
Well-
things that I can't support.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I have some weapons. If you need some weapons, I will
No.
send you
I got
weapons.
plenty, but it's always me. I always change or upgrade or move something or
Yeah. But I have
once
some
I
of
run through
the
those.
I have some of the yet to be released Valiverse weapons that I'm not going to be using ever. So I will send you a picture if you want some. Let me know. I'll send them over to you. I know,
Yeah.
but I paid the money, so just consider it a gift, okay? That way you don't have to feel so bad.
All
We'll
right,
consider it a trade for the chair in the council. How's
there
that?
you go. Okay. Well, we can do that.
See?
So that way you don't have to feel guilty about it. Because I
Yeah,
get where
there
you're
we
coming
go.
from, 100%.
Yeah.
And I
All
also
right,
have
then.
one of those Fortnite sniper weapons if you want another one of those. Sniper rifle.
No, I've got an extra one right now because I bought
right.
4 of those things.
The arcades.
Because one of them went to Beachhead, one of them went to Stalker,
And you know what else I have?
one went to Naugahyde.
If either of you two are interested, I have opened one of those Fortnite gliders with the stand that I'm not ever going to be using. So
Ooh.
I got it at Ollie's for $3. So
Yeah,
one
the
you want.
stands are good.
Yep.
The pegs on them are nice too, so they
Yep.
can be used for 2-figure stands.
Yep.
I'm trying to
And they're
figure out
clear.
if there's anything I can think of that I would use that with. I'm sure I'll figure out some kind of Motu thing.
You can use it as a stand alone by itself.
Oh,
Honestly.
yeah.
That's true.
I mean, you don't have to use that centerpiece.
That's true.
It's a good looking thing. So if you feel like
It
wanting
is.
let me know.
Honestly, when Aaron was hunting them down and I finally tracked them down, I was like, oh, I can finally grab a couple of these for him. And, of course, you already had what you needed. And I was like, okay, I could still buy this for myself.
Yeah. Well,
You
as
turned
cheap
what?
as they are.
You got one for the
You can find
Cobra
a
and one
use
for
for
the
them.
Joe gliders, right, Aaron? That's what you did?
Huh? Yeah.
You
I
repainted them
made
into the old foam glider things that we used to have, right? Yeah.
One of them was the Viper glider, and one of them was
Viper
the
glider,
what the hell was the Joe one called? This is what happens. My brain is fried. Henri is asking, is the Fortnite shark just a big shark? Yes.
It is.
Essentially.
It's all it is. Just a big shark. But it's also
But it's a nice shark.
storage.
It's an articulated shark.
Is it hard plastic or is it rubbery?
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
Hard-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's not a
really.
lead brick or anything, but hard enough.
So,
Yeah,
do any of you guys follow Autumn Night?
Autumn Night. That name sounds familiar.
Vaguely sounds familiar. I'm not sure. Is that Instagram or YouTube?
Yeah. It's Instagram. So, this is cool. Hold on. Actually, he's got a video. All right, hold on here.
Autumn Night
open
almost
this?
sounds like a stripper's name.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait.
I was like, do I want to know that I want to say it? I know this guy or not? Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Here,
Should I
well,
be
I'll pull up the
concerned?
picture because it's not going to let me do the video. Let me see if I can open this up in another tab. And then I'll share screen here. Okay, apparently it's just not really going to do
Anything?
here. Let me get it share. I was hoping to bring it up so we can get a bigger look at it, but that's not happening. So
No big deal.
here, let's do that.
There we go.
So
Oh, cool.
these are the arcade cabinets, the very ones that
Oh, that's
I now
awesome.
have. And let's see, can I blow this up a little bit?
Hang on.
Oh,
Let me try
no.
this.
Here, well, let me fix it so we can kind of actually see. But yeah, like they've clearly gotten the stickers.
Look at the
Looks like
carpet
they
they put in
backlit
that
him
thing.
too.
Yeah, he's got a whole video here how he did it.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it'll. Yeah, I was hoping for more of a screen for it, but like that's all it is. We all went to this arcade. I'm pretty sure.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah, dude.
A little
That is
cardboard
like-
vending machines.
That is like every arcade carpet and setup
Right.
ever.
Mhm.
Garbage
Exactly.
can.
Yeah, those
Payphone.
cabinets are these exact cabinets, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He did
He
some
got the
photo
stickers.
editing to get the light like that, though.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. So this is Autumn Night.
Cool.
I'm gonna see if I'm following him.
Yeah, it's the Stranger Things figures.
Yeah.
Got Dusty right here. That's cool.
Let's see.
Oh,
Let
right.
me. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Where is it? Okay. A-U-T. Is it UMN?
Yeah. AUTUMN
Is it
underscore
N-I-G-H-T?
KNIGHT.
Okay. If I hit the underscore.
He's done some really good work.
Autumn_night, yeah.
Yeah, and then I believe
Yep.
it's an underscore after the night too.
Yep. I
Okay.
can't believe I'm not following this guy. Interesting.
Right? Yeah, he's got some good looking shots. I
Yeah.
dig it.
I'll send a follow over his way. I know a guy named Ostradamus Toys who's following him and Random Diorama, so
There
I
we
guess
go.
he must be worth following.
Yep. I'm not following him, but yeah. Name now.
Just the creativity in that shot. And I recognized the arcades and I was like, wait a minute, he's got stickers on his.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy that sells them on Etsy, but I just cannot remember the guy's name.
You
I'll
can't.
probably
What
do.
can't you find on Etsy, right?
That's true.
Yeah, I know. Etsy is evil.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Although I did find some, quite a few of my STL files there to start.
Yes,
Right.
it's a good place for that too. So, but it's still an evil rabbit hole because once you get
Yes, it
going and you're like, I wonder if I can find one of these. The next thing you know, you're like, I haven't found what I'm looking for yet, but I got 18 things in my cart now.
Exactly.
Right. Haven't even. How did I even get to this from what I came here for? Like, I don't understand my train of thought, but here
That's
I
right.
am.
Yeah.
Random is saying Shadow Moses is somebody.
Makes really
Okay.
nice custom arcades. Oh, okay.
don't
And
know
I
if
got it.
followed up.
We were having some Metal Gear talk earlier, so I got to appreciate the Shadow
Yeah.
Moses reference too.
Absolutely, Radnon. That carpet makes that whole arcade just zing from the arcade.
Right? I only wish he had like little tiny little Coke stains or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
coffee
exactly.
stain and a Coke stain on there. A couple of the stepped on
There
French
needs-
fries or nachos.
Yeah, there needs to be a couple, splashes of soda on a couple of the arcades. Yeah.
Yeah,
inside.
on the side of the cabinet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe some
Gotta-
icy hanging off. And
Yeah, there you go.
dripping down the side. There you go.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we all just completely described
Yeah.
completely different arcades from our youths, but we were all there.
States apart.
Exactly.
We know.
Ugh.
We've been
The
there.
worst arcades were the ones that they had inside the amusement parks, like the
Oh yeah.
flags and stuff. Those ones were horrible. I mean, the handles were always stick. The joysticks were always sticky, and the
Yeah.
buttons were
Well,
always sticky.
if the machine actually even worked for the
Oh, yeah,
most
right?
part.
Yeah. And you had some teenager that would walk around and give like the hot chicks extra quarters and stuff. So it's
Mhm.
like, come on, why can't I get extra quarters? I
Exactly.
understand she's good looking, but come on.
Yeah, you have nice enough tits.
I know, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
I was
bet you I
14,
can give 'em a
none
run
of the
for their
girls
money
had
now.
tits.
Exactly. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you both coming on and
Well, thanks for
talking with
inviting us.
me. And
Yeah,
I got a couple things open. Oz, we will see you Saturday.
Of course. Well, you'll see me tomorrow night at Toy Frenzy.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
that's true. I forgot.
And I'll see you on
I
Friday
keep
night.
thinking it's like later in the week because I'm like,
Who do you got Friday with you?
I'm off tomorrow because my wife's going to a conference. So
Nice.
Well, what kind of concert you going to?
it's for her makeup stuff. So
Oh,
Dawn watches her on TikTok now.
yeah, she told me, she was like, "Oh, Don, do you know Don was on my live?" No, I didn't, but okay, it's cool.
Yep, she follows her. She's been watching her.
Well, I started a makeup TikTok too, so you should tell her to
You
follow
did?
me.
Oh,
yeah.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
Frightening.
Anything to help, Aaron. Anything to help. It hasn't worked yet, but I got
I already have
-3
enough
followers.
nightmares. I don't need any extras. Okay.
It's not an actual beard on Ed's face. That's
right.
just makeup.
Yeah. It's all makeup. It's all shading.
All
He's
right,
shading
gentlemen.
to hide the things.
I'll send you a link later to my.
Okay.
Oz has Ozly fans. I had to do something, so I.
That's
You
true.
gotta say hi. You gotta say hi.
Oh yeah, let's see the.
Oh,
Comment
yes.
has to say hi.
Comment.
Okay. Did you say hi? Okay. You good? Are we done?
He's like, oh crap, we're live.
He's like, shit. You didn't tell me this was live. I didn't have time to put my makeup on.
Go watch Ed's tutorial.
He doesn't care. He wants to be live. He just wants the attention more than anything.
I didn't have time to watch Ed's TikTok on how to get my makeup right.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know how to do makeup. I feel so naked.
I can't do anything with these paws.
Where'd he get them thumbs at? Did I get those on Etsy?
Exactly. Hey, Dad, you put me up there and everybody got to see me naked.
Oh, man.
He's a cute.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I appreciate y'all coming on. I guess
Thank
I
you
will
for
see
the
you
invite.
tomorrow and Saturday
Friday and Saturday and
all throughout the weekend. Who knows
all
where
throughout
we'll
the
all
weekend,
be?
probably. Yeah.
We know where we'll all be Saturday.
That's
we'll all
right.
be hanging out again.
We'll all be hanging out again. I got more. I saved stuff to open.
Nice, nice.
I will hopefully have a couple things to open Saturday.
Ooh,
sweet.
Can't wait to see.
Sweet.
All right, gents.
All right, gentlemen. Appreciate
Later,
it.
boys.
Y'all have a
Thanks,
good one.
chat.
Thanks for watching, chat.
Bye, guys.